The Nova Scotia Buccaneers and the St. John Wanderers visiting here in Cole Harbour. I'll be your color commentator today alongside with my play-by-play commentator, Dan Hobson, as we get underway.
Yeah, that's a kickoff, and it's taken there by Carr coming out of the end zone. Good return for him. Gets up to about the 35 after taking it pretty much a couple of yards inside the end zone, so up to the 29-yard line. A good start. Ethan, these teams faced each other last week at St. John, and of course it was a blowout win there for the Nova Scotia Buccaneers. Pretty much allowed them to be hosting this playoff game, and the thing is that weather may be a little bit of a factor. I had a little bit of a downpour, some showers here, probably about an hour before game time here, so it's made the surface a little bit slick. We'll see how it goes. Right now, overcast skies, chance of showers is what's in the forecast here today, as Jarrett Lamming is going to be behind center here to take this first snap here for the St. John Wanderers. Hand off to Crowley. He'll get up a couple of yards there on that play. Good enough for 2. Make it 2nd and 8.
As we take a look at the replay here, it's just the defensive line and the linebackers able to hold down the fort early in the game. And yeah, as we were talking about just a second ago, last week these teams matched up. 49-7 was the final score here for the Buccaneers. So it's going to take a lot, and maybe the weather could be a play for possibly benefit for the Wanderers in this one.
2nd and 6 as he got 4 on it. So once again, they'll hand it off to Crowley. He'll go off the gut, up to the middle, and that will get up to the 47.
Yeah, talk about an improvement from a first run to a second run. This time you can see the holes open up from the offensive line, and luckily safety's there to make the tackle the last option. But brings up a first down.
Ethan, a little different look here. Usually seen a lot of shotgun formation in the sport today, but now you see it going right to center. And once again, pretty much calling his own game. Crowley up to the 50 and the 51.
Yeah, it's starting to look like Noah Crowley versus the Buccaneers at this point. Another run from him, 3 to start this game here for the Wanderers, and their game plan has seemed to come out strong. They've had positive yards on every play. 2nd down here.
Well, you got to see that maybe it's the weather that maybe determine if they're going to do the ground game here today, or if they're using the ground game to set up the aerial attack a little bit later. But either way, it's working for them. 2 first downs so far. Ball at the 51. Lamming, lots of time, incomplete. Was looking for Gavin White. There in coverage was Frazier there for Nova Scotia Buccaneers.
So nice job from Gavin White there to get open, but Lamming just not able to find the target on the first chance.
Right, Ethan, you got to like that Wanderers have set themselves up like in good 2nd down plays in their first couple of, in this first possession, giving them something that's sort of manageable, because this is manageable with 2nd and 5. They went with a different look, and this time it's like, you're not going to fool me now, as Crowley brought down maybe near the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, you
Riley,
can only...
Sorry about that.
No, all right. You can only use your running back for so long sometimes, and this time Buccaneers able to shut it down.
Yeah, Riley Gabriel there, but it's a 4th down, so it's decision time here for the Wanderers, and looks to see that they'll keep the offense out on the field here.
This is crucial moments, especially for Lamming, to get something going for his squad.
Now he's actually in the shotgun formation here. 4th and 5. Pass incomplete. They were looking for Crowley. He wasn't in the backfield that time, ready to get the pass, but Ezekiel Gray there on coverage there. Pardon me, Matthias Johnson on coverage there for the Buccaneers. So they've turned it over on down. So it's going to be a short field here for the Buccaneers for their first possession of the game, Ethan.
Yeah, Buccaneers have been very good at doing this so far this season, ever since that struggling first matchup against Moncton. Kind of their whole motto has been just getting the ball from turnover on downs all the time. You know, sometimes they get to situations like 4th and 1, 4th and 2 against their defense, and that's when they're their best.
So the Buccaneers start at Wanderers territory at the 50-yard line. Tufts. And he'll hand it off to Toro Gabrielli, who was here just before start of the game here. Get some high fives from the fans here at Cole Harbour All-Surface Field. Got 2 on that.
He's looking for a big week. Last week in their matchup against St. John, he was able to capture Offensive Player of
the middle. Incomplete. And the nice hands of Cody Reed deflected that off the target.
Yeah, that is all Cody Reed on that one. A great job from him. Stop that pass through the middle. So he's over there in that mic position, and he stood strong so far.
3rd and 8. Shotgun formation for Tufts. Pocket closing in. He gets on the run, and now he'll go with it and go up to gut. And that goes up to the 35, so couldn't find any receivers, but decided to take off. And when you have that in your back pocket, that sure helps there, Ethan.
Yeah, what a job by Tufts. But another player I'd like to credit on that play is actually Toro Gabrielli again. Stayed back there, make the block for his quarterback. And as he was able to take away that rusher coming up the left side, he was able to give him a good little crack block, open up a hole for Tufts, and that gave him a lane to get that first down.
Well, one of the things that we're doing a little bit differently here in Maritime Athletic Profiles, you've always seen the 1 up, 1 down. In the sport of hockey, we've got 1 up and 1 down. As Ethan's downfield level, I'm up in the stands. So it's give it a little bit of a different look as the pass is complete. In the meantime, Buccaneers driving down the field, Ethan.
Yeah, I'm doing my best down here. You've got the pleasure of seeing over everybody to see the actual game to your best. I'm back here relying on a little bit of instant replays sometimes just to help with.
Yeah, but it's definitely like an interesting look. It's like we were here, we were working that broadcast that day. It's a definitely a different look because you're getting a chance to see, like, of course, what happened, and we're delighted to be here for the semis here. Tufts. Oh, I'm not sure if it was a handoff meant to be, but Tufts is going to just, put it in his breadbasket and to go down a bit. And made something out of nothing, my friend.
Yeah, he's one of those guys who's not afraid to just put his head down and run if he's gotta. Able to shake off that first tackle in the backfield there. Caleb Morgan was in there, got past the offensive line, but great red zone chance here for the Buccaneers.
Yeah, it's a 2nd and 3, this time from the 10. 7:48 remains here in this first quarter. Going to give it to Brennan, and there's nothing there. Giving the Kerstead, nothing there. Beautiful tackle there by Morgan. Caleb Morgan right there almost instantly when the snap was even let go.
Yeah, it looked like half a second that it took Morgan to get there. The second he saw one step that it looked like Kierstead might get the ball, he just put all of his force into that. Have to think a Tufts pass coming here.
Well, it's a bit of an empty backfield. Oh, they'll give it to Toro Gabrielli. Cuts up to the middle. Toro just shy of the end zone. That's going to be creating a 1st and goal here.
Well, that shows why I'm not a defensive coordinator.
They call that the announcer's jinx, you know. When you think you see the play and then sometimes it doesn't develop as you want it or as you think it should go.
It happens to me all too often.
Well, the thing is, I'm the king of the announcer's jinx. Just ask all my broadcast colleagues in the pack that I've worked for. A long list. Tufts, handoff. Gabrielle easily walks it in for the touchdown. But we have our first flag of the day, and it'll be the first time that we hear from Adam Lawler.
So
Wanderers penalized, declined, so we can officially say touchdown Buccaneers.
So Gabrielli continues his dominance against the Wanderers last week with a phenomenal game. This time gets another touchdown to start it off here. Extra point coming up. We got last week's special teams MVP kicker coming, Matthew Velacci.
Kerstead to hold. Right down Main Street, and it's good with 6:15 left to go. Nova Scotia Buccaneers, they cash in on that turnover by Downs, middle of the field. They had the ball at the 50, drove it down, and got the score. So you couldn't ask for a better start.
Yeah, it's huge for them. It almost feels like they got the ball to start this game, and they'll have the ball at halftime as well. We'll see if their defense can recreate what they brought out the first time, but St. John's hungry. They took a rough loss last week and traveled all the way down to Cole Harbour for this one, and you know they want to put some points on the board and try to move on to the championship game.
Yeah, the other semi taking place today is the Valley versus Moncton.
Number 11, Cody Carr in the backfield.
Fisher Ginge ready to kick it off there from the 45-yard line. Cody Carr back to receive. They're standing at around the 10-yard line. Also is Kieran Roche. It will be Carr. Lots of real estate here on this side, and he's going to go up down this near sideline. Flag there, maybe he added on there, maybe a little bit of an unnecessary roughness or a face mask, but he got it right up to the 50 after taking it around the 15, so good return, and most likely he could pack on some yardage as well.
Yeah, a great return all around here from St. John. From looking back here, it's looked like every single player that I got a glimpse of was on some Buccaneers player, giving them some trouble, and a face mask will move them down even further. This is their best field position they've had all night.
Yeah, they started off pretty much at the right around the 38-yard line, their first possession. And this time they're going to be starting at the 45 of the Buccaneers. And just to recap, it was a 15-yard face mask. And it's one of the things that this Nova Scotia Buccaneers team has been trying to really cut out on for the last couple of years. And they've hoping they can try to get some of those unnecessary roughness penalties. As pass is caught right there. Chad Alexander taking it down to the 5-yard line on the catch and run there from Lamming to Alexander.
Alexander with a beautiful run after the catch here. Look at this pass. Able to get it over the defender there, Brody Boudreau, and Boudreau is able to get there at the last second to hold him from getting into the end zone, but it looks like St. John may tie this game up in a second.
First and goal from the 5. They have Caleb Morgan, who's your linebacker, usually in the backfield. Does he have the ball? Looks to be trying to push the pile. Might get to the 2.
See, sometimes when you use a player like that, it's an advantage because they have the extra hunger to get in the end zone. But also on defense, you kind of know who's going to get the ball. They're able to stop him there.
Second down.
We'll see what the Wanderers have here. 2nd and goal. From the 3. Quick moving first quarter here, Ethan.
It's been going fast.
Yeah, once again, Lamming under center, and he's going to call his own number. They push the pile, waiting for the signal, and finally, touchdown Wanderers.
This is huge for St. John. 1-point game kick coming up, but we talked about the score last week being 49-7. Chance to tie it up right here in the first quarter.
Brandon on here for the convert. The hold by Cody Card here to try to tie this up at 7. 4:03 left here in the first quarter. And a block.
Commentator curse. I got to stop talking about them tying up the game. But a beautiful play by the Buccaneers to stop that extra point. They keep the lead. Another look at it. Multiple players got through. That was Dante Gabrielli, last week's Defensive Player of the Week. Comes through on special teams.
I think that probably what also maybe helped in getting that block, you might have saw that the snap was a little bit higher, not really high, but just high enough there that maybe gave them a couple of extra split seconds to get back there for that block.
Yeah, every millisecond matters in an extra point attempt, in any field goal attempt. And some people, sometimes like me just a second ago, you take it for granted that the kick is at least going to get off. But a great play by the Bucs to come up on defense, and they'll receive the ball, chance to extend their 1-point lead.
Yeah, well, this is the thing, is that sometimes in this sport, it's like you have that moment. It's no big deal right now if just in the first quarter, but you have to wonder if that's going to maybe haunt them a little bit later. We'll have to wait and see, as Brennan has kicked it off, and I think he's going to kick this one out of bounds, and that's not going to help the cause. There's a legal procedure.
Good field start position coming up for the Buccaneers.
Well, they started at the 50 of the Wanderers, and this one will start at their own 40. So both offenses are having really good field positions to start. Second possession here for the Buccaneers. As I mentioned, they started at the 50 of the Wanderers. The Wanderers also started on the Buccaneers side of the field. So, I mean, the offense couldn't ask for any easier start there in terms of getting good field position. 1st and 10 from the 40. Gabrielli in the backfield. Flag down. Tufts waving them down. Tufts may have a free play, trying to scramble. Puts it up. Pass is caught at around the 45-yard line. Mulally brings it in. Will it count? We'll have to wait and hear from referee Adam Lawler.
So that'll be huge if it stands, but
it's going to be declined, so it will stick.
Yeah, Tufts, not sure if he knew that it was St. John's penalty right away, but super smart football by him to just direct his team, go, 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 we got a free play, just in case.
This is my first look here at Mitch Tufts as quarterback. Got to like his composure, Ethan.
Oh, yeah. He has been just around a lot of these players for quite some time. I know a few guys that have played with him, and they talk very highly of him when he's got the ball in his hands.
Oh,
Nice
he
job by him.
Eludes that, but he's in big trouble, throws it away. But he rushed around about 20, 25 yards just to come up with it incomplete in a 2nd and 10, but pretty much had pressure right in the backfield as soon as he had the ball snapped to him.
Yeah, great job by him to not take a sack on this play. Obviously, you want passes to connect, but when you have a guy on your right, on your left, another one running straight at you, you'll take an incomplete pass.
Yeah, Caleb Morgan enforcing a little bit of the issue and just missed the shoestring tackle. Handoff, Gabrielli up the middle. Back into the secondary of the Wanderers, enough to move the sticks.
A big hit there on Gabrielli at the end there, being thrown by Tyler Ring along with Nate Kinney, but Gabrielli able to get up, go back to the huddle. He's just been so consistent in really every league I've ever seen him play in.
Yeah, he was good at, like you were saying about every league you saw him. Well, I also saw what he was like in the minor football program of Truro a few years ago. Well, definitely more than a few years ago to be precise. Playing at the what's now the number 2 construction battalion field. Nice new surface. Dante Gabrielli was practicing there a couple days ago. Screen pass, and then trying to hit Mullally. Is incomplete as it goes off his fingertips. Grip it and rip it for Tufts, but no dice that time.
Good chances, but you know, sometimes the weather can have a play in how well they're connected on throws, passes we were talking about already.
Well, it's beautiful drainage that these new all-weather surfaces have. Of course, they're sort of made of rubber and old tires, but they've drained pretty well, and no rain right now, but it made it slick at the start. Another 2nd and 10, aired out, caught there, complete, Jack Martin. Takes it down to the 14.
Another look at that Tufts pass here on the replay. Great blocking from that line. Gabrielli has been a phenomenal blocker in the backfield so far as well, and Martin bringing down that catch. We see from the other angle here on the field cam. And that grab from Martin.
And you were talking about Gabrielli. He's down on a knee. So he'll go out for 3 plays. So he gets applause here from the Cole Harbor all-weather surface faithful.
If there's anybody you don't want to lose when you're in the red zone on your offense, if you're the Bucs, I would say it would be Toro Gabrielli. So we'll see how much Tufts uses the ball himself here. Not an empty backfield, though.
That was at the 10, 1st and goal. Tufts to the corner, too far for Mullally, but a flag at the end there.
There's a flag on the play.
Came from Jeff Spencer. He saw something.
Another look at that one up close here on the replay. See if we can get a view of what the ref was seeing there.
It looks to be probably just maybe it's a 5-yard penalty, so maybe just illegal contact. Holding, actually, so they'll go half the distance of the goal, so up to the 5.
Half the distance. Ball spotted on the 5. 1st and goal.
Because you knew it wasn't pass interference when they moved it up 5, because the pass interference it would have been, of course, right at the 1-yard line. So to the 5 on the hold, half the distance. Tufts. Another flag coming. All of a sudden, it's a flag fest here at Cole Harbor. Pass caught in the end zone. Yes, sir. Touchdown, Cameron Hunt.
So we'll have to see if play stands after this flag, but would be huge if Hunt's play connects. The flag came.
Oh, it's coming back.
Yeah, it looked like when the flag came, the offensive line was holding in bunches. No pun intended, so holding the penalty.
The thing is, I never thought that Ethan Greenham was punny, funny guys, but I guess you are. You're on a roll today.
I don't always do it on purpose, but sometimes
it just sneaks
have
out.
A few.
Yeah, it just sneaks out. Well, let's look back at it. Yeah, let's take it back to the 15. 42 ticks left here in the first. Was a first and goal from the 5 is now from the 15. Low snap. Tufts, how's he eluding some of this? Puts it up. And he brought it down, but incomplete as he was out of the field of play, according by Greg McLean, as he caught it out of bounds.
Yeah, we got a great view of that over on our angle on the replay here on the field cam. What a chance, as he did hold it down, but by the time the ball was in his hands, his feet were out of play. Another look at that, just so close, inches away from a touchdown.
Feels like we've been down here. This should be the final play, pending a penalty here of the first quarter. Tufts, caught! Touchdown, Cameron Hunt.
Yeah, it was only fitting that it was going to be Cameron Hunt after that last one called back due to the holding. Tufts, he's been able to find his targets, looks like.
Yeah, this as I said, the surface not as wet as you've probably seen in some in the past because the drainage so good these days, but he's been his passes have been right on and not really letting the surface or the ball wetness really affect his throws.
Yeah, great route run by Hunt as well. They were coming in his zone defense and just lost him.
Malachi good with the convert, making it 14-6. 20 points so far in the first quarter. Ethan, did you have that drawn up looking at this game ahead of time? I sure as heck didn't see it. Good start here for Nova Scotia.
Yeah, I knew there was going to be points scored in this one when you look at the board last time, but it just felt like maybe because they'd seen each other already last week, you have the film now against them, you have the actual eye test against them, that maybe the score would have been a little bit quieter, but we'll see if it keeps going like this through all four.
So 2 possessions here for Buccaneers. They've scored. 2 for the Wanderers. They turned it over on the first time and then scored a TD on the second. Fisher Ginge back to kick this off at the 45-yard line. Carr and Robinson back to field the kick.
Robinson and Carr in the backfield.
We'll see what Carr can do here. I mean, Robinson may get it, but Carr has been a player to watch so far for St. John.
Robinson backpedaling. He'll bring it down at the 7. Trying to get close to the 30. Down to the 28. So not too bad a return on that. 21 yards.
Yeah, Not great field position for St. John, but when you're down, you're just happy to get the ball sometimes. So 1st and 10 coming up deep in their own zone.
I said 21, make it 22 as he got up to the 29. So it would be a 1st and 10 here for Lamming and the Wanderers. Trailing by 8.
You see on the screen a second ago, Jake Kearley Smith, number 51.
Oh, there was almost like a miscommunication. It is heading down the field, which Chad Alexander, a throw about 20 yards behind him. I'm not sure because he just kept on going and Lamming went short.
Yeah, maybe Lamming thought he was maybe curling, having a comeback route, but just can't find anything there.
A lot of times they have been sort of like in this, they were doing 2nd and mandatories. Now this is their 2nd and 10. 29-yard line. Crowley. Up the middle to the 38.
Gabrielli and Cody Davison there to make the tackle for the Buccaneers. Another look at that one on the replay on that short run play.
They mark him at the 37th, so it is a 3rd and 2. Robinson was in motion. They'll hand it off to Coates. Coates up to the 40, enough to move the sticks to the 1st down. Ben Coates.
Another look at this one. Nice run from Coates. Able to get just enough of a hole to get the 1st down for the Wanderers.
Well, this is a very big possession, Ethan, because not only do, of course, the Wanderers want to come away with points, but they also want to basically keep the offense of the Buccaneers off the field. They've been on there twice. They've scored twice. Best way to defend the offense is keep them off the field.
Yeah, only 7 points last week, 6 so far already. A big stop there on defense.
Kevin Dickens. Hello, Ben Coates, as he met him right there. Put him back for a loss of 1.
Dickens just one of those big bodies who eventually you can only hold him back so long. Every play just running forward in the interior of that defensive line.
Makes it 2nd and 11. Noah Brennan in motion. Also in motion, Coates. Lamming. Almost picked off as Riley Gabriel got there, but just couldn't bring it in, but enough to break it up.
Oh, the frustrations of Gabriel after that one. He's going to be thinking about that when he goes to bed. I feel for him after that one, but...
Well, sometimes he's playing the defensive back, but he's also played quarterback. So he's probably also seen some of these plays that the quarterback is doing, probably read his eyes, anticipated the play, broke in. And, of course, just as you said, off the fingertips, can't come any closer. Makes it 3rd down and 11, another 3rd and long here for the Wanderers. 11:28 till halftime. Lamming. Incomplete. Almost put it right into the hands of Dante Gabrielli. He was the closest one to it.
So they're likely going to get rid of this one. Yeah, punt team coming out. Just a tough drive here for St. John, and in a very crucial one as well.
3 and out for them.
Bucks number 11, Globin Mullally in the backfield.
Shane Keats We'll go back to punt here for the Wanderers.
Joined by number 9, Dante Gabrielli.
Gabrielli and Malali back there at around the 30. Good high spiral. Malali will catch it at the 40. He's up to the 50. Trying to spit away. Gets up to midfield. Down to about the 54, 53-yard line. So back down into Wanderers territory on a good return there by Malali.
Yeah, Malali's been great at breaking tackles so far. That's what we've seen every time he has been able to catch the ball off passes, and that chance on the return there, just very shifty with the way he moves.
And a 15-yard unnecessary roughness, so it could have been a late hit. We'll tack on 15 more, so.
Ball spot on the 38-yard line.
There hasn't been too many possessions here for the Nova Scotia Buccaneers that they have not started in Wanderers territory. Now ball up to the 37 on the Wanderers, 1st and 10.
Doesn't get much better than this.
Flag down. Lots of time for Tufts, airing it out. In behind is Cameron. Incomplete as he couldn't hold on to it. Flag did come down along the line. We'll see what Adam Lawler has to say.
Yes, one came from the left and one came from the right side. Both may have seen the same thing. We'll see what they say here. Either way, it was an incomplete pass, so.
Right, what job by the offensive line to give the protection there for Tufts. There wasn't really anybody with a gold and blue jersey in the area. Looks to be going against the Buccaneers.
Starting to think that protection may have been too good. What if it's holding?
It was an offside penalty, so they declined it.
There you go.
Buccaneers offside. That penalty has been declined. 2nd down.
Well, sometimes I have a jinx, and I thought that maybe I was talking about the great protection. He was like, maybe it was too good. And it was like, yeah, he's probably right. But an offside saves me again.
You got lucky this time.
Yeah, okay. I got to have one mulligan. Oh! Now they're going to question if he was down because he threw it away, so maybe this will be going and recorded as a sack. Carson Crown.
I think he got it away. I mean, another debate maybe if he had an intended target. We got it slow-moed over at our angle. Oh, that is
intentional, yes.
It actually, I don't know if it gets a closer call than that.
Well, the thing is that you had a better look at it, and probably folks at home had, of course, 2 looks at it. Was pretty much almost down, so that has brought the ball.
They did declare it as a sack, so.
Yeah, brought it to the 46.
I think, I mean, they didn't have the chance to look at it again, obviously, but either way, I would have been satisfied with that call.
Incomplete, and what a tough hit there for Jack Martin. He was going up for it, and he was just hit there, as getting there was Cody Reed.
Let's take another look at that big hit there. Going down.
Well, if you're going to be in the middle, sometimes you're going to have to pay the piper. That was the case.
Oh, you get that on the 3rd angle and just a perfectly shot tackle from behind midair.
For the first time today, they were going to see the punt formation here. The Nova Scotia Buccaneers. Ginge standing back at his 50. One man back. It's Robinson for the Wanderers. He's at about the 10. So Wanderers going to send the heat here. A little bit of a low snap. Oh, with a high but short kick, and there it goes out of bounds, and it's going to be really close
Flags on the plate.
to the original line of scrimmage that the Buccaneers had. Flags are down.
This could be huge for St. John.
Well, the penalty is actually looks to be like going against the Wanderers. Too many men. Oh, that hurts.
That's a rare penalty. You don't hear about that too often. I feel like more times than not you hear about not enough players being on the field for a team, somebody forgetting that it was their turn to get on. But I guess everybody was too eager to be on here for St. John.
Well, it hasn't changed the mind of Dion Thomas Hodges III. He still has the punt team out there. Ginge now standing at the 50 of the Wanderers. Good snap, and this time he's got a better kick. Robinson, in the depth of his own end zone, brings it out.
Robinson on the return. Brought down number 9. Dante
Brought down near the 10. The field position here for the Wanderers just gets a little bit more worse as this game goes on. You've talked about it before, that the last possession was their worst field position, where they started out from. This one's basically starting off right around about the 15.
Yeah, next time they get the ball, Dan, they're going to be starting at the 1.
Yeah, make that about the 20 here, so it's going to be at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10.
But it does just keep going back a little bit.
Yeah. Well, as I said, it's a lot better than starting off at the 1-yard line, so see what Lambing has in store here. 9:23 till halftime. 14-6 contest. Nova Scotia Buccaneers, St. John Wanderers, Maritime Football League semifinal.
Tell you, this one has been a lot closer and keeping people on the edge of their seats more than last week.
Just a short gain of 1 there for Crowley that time.
Second down.
So he's still got half the quarter over now for Wanderers. Do you think they're thinking about leaving this half with a lead, or?
Oh, right in and out of the hands there of Brody Boudreau. It couldn't come any easier. It was right there. Sometimes the easiest ones are the hardest ones. Reception or interception.
Boudreau, he's made nice plays so far today, but that would have been the most important one so far.
Yeah, you have to say that basically turnovers usually determine the winners and losers in football, and 1 turnover has resulted in the first touchdown of the game. Ball is up, and it is picked off as Collins gets in the way of it. Collins, he's got a blocker. Collins gets in the end zone for the touchdown. But there is a flag down in the secondary. We'll have to wait.
If it stands, that's a game-changing play from Tayshawn Collins, but flag was right by where he was running from. Got to be a little worried. Could have been a call on the defense.
Well, the offense of the Buccaneers has gone on the field, so the touchdown won't stay, but they'll still get the ball at the 40-yard line.
Penalties against the Nova Scotia Buccaneers. Blindside tackle.
Oh, it's got to be a penalty on the Buccaneers. So
spot on the 40-yard line of the Wanderers. 1st and 10 Buccaneers.
It's just a tough break for them, and
but another turnover goes into the second turnover of the game, and that has been a little bit of the difference maker so far in this one there, Ethan. So Buccaneers looking to try to at least capitalize here.
yeah, it does help that the penalty came after the turnover for sure.
Yep. So 1st and 10 from the 40 here for the Bucs. A low snap that Tufts has to be careful with. Gabrielli says no big deal. He gets the handoff. Was up the gut and then gets to the outside. Brought down near the 25-yard line.
Brought down by number
Consistent as always, Toro Gabrielli. Good blocking from the O-line, but looks like he may be down.
This is the second time he had a little bit of an injury earlier in the game. Second time that Gabrielli has been needing some assistance.
That's not what you want to see. Tackle was made by Nate Kinney.
Buccaneers number 30.
As Gabrielli's down right now.
Needing to get some help there from the Wanderers to get up, but he's get some help from the Buccaneers teammates, and a good sign seeing him walk off, but he'll have to sit out the minimum of 3 plays before returning.
Yeah, I'm starting to doubt that he's going to come back like last time after a few plays either. It's just he's down for quite a bit longer, and just not what you want to see from a star player in a week where you're trying to make the finals.
The 28. Tufts. Oh, right there. Ezekiel Gray going to be come down with the sack there for the Wanderers.
By number 25, Ezekiel Gray.
Ezekiel, normally a running back here for this Wanderers squad, runs right into the backfield. There's another punter for you, Dan.
Attaboy. You're going to have the reputation of being the punniest guy with Maritime Athletic Profiles.
Okay. Bit too far.
Okay. Well, brings the ball back to the 35, so it's a loss. Looks to be about a 2nd and 17. Empty backfield. Tufts. Lots of time. Puts it up. Incomplete. Off the fingertips of Mullally.
Great job by the Wanderers to make sure he can't come away with it after that first tip on his hands. Just the second he had contact with the ball, there was contact made to him.
You were talking about Gray. He was hobbling off, so he's gone to the sideline. Brady Hammond has replaced him for the Wanderers. 6:13 left to go till halftime. Dante Gabrielli in the backfield here. Tufts shotgun formation. Tufts going to go on his horse, get to the outside, try to elude a couple of hits. Hammond, one of the ones to get in on the tackle there.
Tufts has been
Sorry.
No, all right. He's just been phenomenal at when he realizes there's not a pass open. He just takes off with his feet every time.
Well, we've seen it, those quarterbacks that have the ability to run and get out of situations that is in, and it just adds like an added weapon. If you're one of these like quarterbacks that stay in the pocket and just throw or hand off sort of thing, it just all of a sudden defensive coordinators just feast on that. But if you have somebody that has the ability to scramble like Tufts, as I said, this is my first time seeing him play. It's like as you said, it's like he has just decides I'm just going to take off with it and go, and he's all set himself up for a good situation here.
Yeah, you got to be pretty special nowadays playing football and not having any legs as a quarterback. Here he goes again.
Tufts gets to the outside pass. Oh, off the fingertips. Incomplete. Believe it was Sivret.
Feels like every time the ball leaves tough hands, it's got a chance, but just this time it had a chance to go to the other team.
So with that, it's a turnover on down. So now the turnover stand 2-1, still in favor of the Buccaneers. 5:09 left to go. So let's see if the if the Wanderers can take advantage of this turnover and get some momentum. Trailing by 8 with 5 to go. They decide to quick toss. A short one to be precise.
Yeah, not much going there for the
And this is
Wanderers.
a serious one when players are already saying, get some staff out here.
Oh, no.
Like, just immediately.
We'll see. Oh, it was, or that was the last play. Thought it may have been head contact. Here, we'll get another look at it in a moment.
Well, it's serious as soon as like both teams, the players on it, were saying, assistants come over here. So and he's got to get help off the field, and that's a loss. I believe it is Noah Brennan. Get a confirmation on that here in just a couple of seconds.
A tough look there, as you see. He's not putting any weight on.
Yeah, exactly.
On either of his feet right now.
Now, of course, it's regroup time for the Wanderers. They've seen one of their men go down. Now time to respond here. 2nd and 8. Fake to Crowley. Ball coming to the sideline. Incomplete. They were looking for Caleb Kirkpatrick.
Great chance for Kirkpatrick, but the coverage was too strong. Another look, but it was the defense holding strong, as you see it here from a close angle. Field camera looked like, sorry, Dan. Field camera looked like she thought she might have got killed there if she didn't move. So, kind of missed the shot for the safety of the camera for a second here.
I was just going to say jokingly, I said the Wanderers kind of look like the old Queen Elizabeth Lions uniforms. I'm probably aging myself with that one. Lamming Airs it out. Incomplete. Boudreau was the closest there as they were looking for Gavin White.
Once Boudreau saw that deep pass coming, the way that his body moved, it almost looked like he started playing receiver instead of defense. He tried to catch that one like he was trying to go all the way he was running. He would have had to turn around if he was able to bring it in.
Well, you have to say that the offenses on both teams started out on fire, but they've sort of cooled down there here in this second quarter. Another fourth down here for the Wanderers, and 20 points in the first quarter, and we're 4:09 left till halftime, Ethan, and nothing on the board here in the second. So defenses have made the adjustments here. You'd have to agree.
Well, it took them 5 quarters between these matchups for both of these teams to really figure each other out. Buck said they've had the Wanderers figure out on defense, but Wanderers have started to stop them.
This punt goes out of bounds, and there was a flag down before the punt even came off.
Looks like
it looks to be going. Yeah, it looks to be going against the Bucks. So is it going to be enough to make the Wanderers think maybe about going for it, or if it's going to be enough for the first down?
Have to be a little worried if it's not a first down from the penalty, just because you've already had 2 turnovers today. You don't want to give them another one, but trust in your defense sometimes too. It's okay to punt the ball sometimes if you trust your defense.
It's an offside, 5-yard penalty there to the Buccaneers.
Buccaneers offside, 5-yard penalty, repeat, 4th down.
They'll still keep the punting team out there, the Wanderers.
And I think that's the right call. Their defense has had a good second quarter.
Well, they turned it over on downs on their first possession in the first quarter, and Buccaneers resulted in points. A little bit of decision there for Robinson. Boudreau takes the kick at the 45. Boudreau up to midfield to the 50, brought down at the 47.
Good return by Boudreau.
Hammond brought him down at the 47. So 340, sorry.
You know, just probably similar to what you were going to say, just another drive with great field position to start with for Nova Scotia.
Yeah, with 3:43, so an 8-point lead, looking here to try to tack it on here before halftime. Tufts and the Buccaneers offense. First and 10, slow snap. Dante Gabrielli lucky to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Snap was low, Ethan.
Yeah, low snap. Tough one to come away with there. This time you got Dante instead of Toro. Not who the Wanderers were expecting to see in the backfield here today, but he may get quite a few cracks at it. We've seen him across 66 this past year with the Halifax Buccaneers, and he had some great runs himself from the quarterback position, especially at the start of the year. Nice pass.
Yeah, pass is caught. Solonic with his first touch of the afternoon, up to the 40. Good for 7.
So short third down.
Under 3 minutes, 2 minutes and 39 seconds left to go till halftime.
This is when plays start mattering just a little bit more.
Tufts grips it, rips it. Solonic once again. But he's met there by Kenny, the defensive back. But it's going to be enough to move the sticks and a first down for the Buccaneers.
Good for first down.
Up to the 32.
So now the whole mindset changes for Nova Scotia after moving the sticks. You're back to being in a great mood.
Tough shotgun formation, 1st and 10. Tufts with lots of protection, running to the outside, throwing on the run. Pass is incomplete. They're looking for Martin.
Jack Martin is incomplete.
Another look at the effort there here on the replay. Tufts rolling out to the right side, as we've seen him like to do so far when pressure has come. Usually when he rolls out to the right side, he's still thinking about pass. If you see him roll to the left, we've seen every time him take off with his legs. So something to note if any Wanderers coaches are listening to the broadcast.
You're going to make a great coach, you know that. You'll make a great broadcaster, but you'll make it as a great coach too. Solonic there. This time on the handoff.
Brought down number 44, Tyler Ring.
Gets it up to the 31.
Nice job by Ring to
26, my apologies.
hold away any more damage.
So 3rd and 5 for the 26. Minute and 32 left till halftime. Good snap. Tufts airs it out. Pass is cut. Touchdown, Jack Martin.
Oh, you know Martin's eyes just lit up when he seen the ball soaring over to his hands. Perfect placement again from Tufts. Just so consistent with his guys. A great job from Martin to hold it down. Add on to the score before you get to the halftime point, and right now we're at 20-6.
Well, you mentioned it about, of course, this being like one of the turnover games, but that was big there because Wanderers were starting to get a little bit of a, basically trying to get something going, and then to add points on here is Valachi, right?
And Matthew Valachi's extra point is good.
Good. So it makes it 21-6. Well, the point I was making is that sometimes you get points at the end of a half going into the dressing room. It's momentum, and for the other team that's given up points, it can be a little bit deflating. So they've got 1:22 left here, so they need to have something positive to go to the basically either the sidelines or the dressing rooms here to talk things over here, the Wanderers.
Well, any points is positive for the Wanderers right now with how their matchups have been going against the Bucks. Only 13 combined points for them through almost 6 quarters now. And, I mean, the Bucks have more just today through 2 with 21.
I think that probably one of the messages that has probably gone through the Nova Scotia Buccaneers is the improve of play as every week has gone on. We're going to hopefully have a word with Dion Hodges at the end here. So it's definitely going to be a question that we're going to ask him here, is find out how happy he is with how the team has progressed from the start of the season to where they are now.
Yeah, and it's with a matchup that is likely coming up, them against Moncton.
Robinson on the run. Got pushed back, but I believe he got up to about close to. He'll mark it at the 34, so
Minute 13 for them to go down, put some more points on the board. And I doubt they're thinking field goal. I mean, they had their extra point attempt blocked earlier. So,
well, to say it's like you say, any way you get points, you know, do it. So we'll see what they have in store here. The offense that started their first possession with a turnover, and then the second time they scored, they had a short field to work with. See what's in store for this one. Lamming up the middle, incomplete. Was looking for McClure. And the Wanderers and the receivers and the quarterbacks sometimes just not on the same page today.
I was about to say the same thing, Dan. I felt like that play, Lamming was just, he's seen the bodies going that direction, but he's just kind of chucking it up in their way. You got to throw it to the guy, and that's what Tufts has been doing.
Well, there's been some times that the closest person in the area where he's thrown to is wearing a white and red and black jersey. 2nd and 10. Lamming, screen pass outside. That is caught. Alexander trying to dance away from some Buccaneer tacklers.
Was going forward for a second, ended up going backwards momentarily. But
big game that Bodie Boudreau there. He was in on the tackle there for the Buccaneers.
Minute to play with. Got to think Lamming's going to get the ball in his hands every time. Timeout for the Bucs.
Yeah, so this is a big play on downs coming up here. So I'm going to ask you a question here because you're Mr. Football here for Maritime Athletic Profiles, Ethan. You come down, you have a road trip, you make the trip down from St. John to Halifax, long trip, trailing by 15 with 1:01 left to go to halftime. Would you be, I know you're not probably happy, but would you be satisfied knowing that it's still a, 2-possession game or 2-touchdown game?
I mean, I guess you're feeling a little bit better than when they were back home in St. John, but you can only go through so many quarters as a football player just watching your team, especially for those defenders, watching your team just not being able to put up points. That has to be what every second of halftime is put towards. We've seen that their defense can make some stops. You got to hope that they can just keep doing what they've been doing, and now it's time for the offense to really turn up.
And they'll turn it up right now with Chad Alexander as he gets up to the 45, and that's a gain of 7, and that's enough for a first down. Up to the 45.
Ball spot on the 45-yard line, 1st and 10.
And 10, 45. Lamming outside. Oh! In and out of the hands there of Cody Carr.
What a chance. Another look at that one for Carr, and he is got to be feeling the frustrations. Caden Frazier back there, the defender for the Buccaneers, but wasn't really a part of the reason why it was incomplete.
Second and 10. Lamming. Good catch and run. Brought down McClure. And making the tackle there was McNeil for the Buccaneers. Was practically right in his back pocket. Not the easiest to catch.
So big first down on the Bucs side of the field now.
Timeout, Wanderers.
Now Wanderers called their timeout. 20 ticks left here till halftime.
Not sure how many timeouts the Wanderers have left. Do you know if that was their first one they've taken?
That was their first, yes. That was their first, yeah.
There you go. So that's key that they still got clock to stop moving down the field here, but time is running out. They got to throw some big plays coming into the timeout here.
Well, I think even the three, even if they can get it into like field goal range here, make it a 12-point game. Because right now you're looking at basically a 3-possession game with it being a 15-point margin. You know, you're going to have to probably either get it on the 2-point conversion or a field goal, and this play is blown down before procedure, so they'll back it up 5, back down into Wanderers territory.
Just keeps getting tougher for St. John, and that was almost another pun there with Mitch Tufts being the quarterback, but it's been a long first half for this offense ever since that first touchdown they scored.
As I said, they got had the turnover, then the touchdown, the quick response pretty much after the Buccaneers got the first points of the game. Lamming. Pass picked off right there. Dante Gabrielli. He gets to the outside to the 30, the 20, the 10, flag down. He'll stay, and he'll get it in for the touchdown, but we have to wait to see if there is an illegal block that stops this. And
I think it is going to be an illegal block, Dan, but nevertheless, interception will stand. It'll hold the Wanderers off from putting any more points on the board this half. Dante Gabrielli, defensive MVP last week, putting up his name in the ballot again. Another look at this one from the field angle here.
Yeah, I mean, when you think of it, it's been sort of like some of these penalties that Buccaneers had. Like, we're looking at a 15-point game, and this is where we were talking about like the Wanderers just trailing by 15. It could be even worse because this is the second time that a touchdown has been taken off the board as a result of a penalty, but basically they still win it in the turnover battle. Oh, they're going to call a touchdown, Buccaneers. Okay.
There you go. So this time it counts.
Well, they must have did that for suspense purposes for our broadcast, for entertainment rights. Holy.
They like to make sure we got stuff to talk about, Dan.
Yeah.
So that leaves it being the only called back touchdown of the day being Tayshawn Collins' interception earlier.
And that's what we call the announcer's jinx. There. I just did one.
In a positive way for somebody, though, this time.
Yeah.
Usually we jinx them not doing something, I find. Something we're very positive that they're going to do. So I think it's okay for a little announcer's jinx the other way for somebody to get some positive out of it.
Well, you do basketball as well. I mean, when a person's going to the free-throw line, do you try to prevent saying that they are like an 87% or a really good, shooter from the free-throw line? Do you try to prevent yourself from saying that?
I do my best to say, like, they could be 6 for 6 on the day. If this is their 7th or 8th shot, I'm most likely not gonna be the one to say that they've been perfect on the day. If they've been to the free throw line once, I'll say they were perfect last time they went up, if it hasn't been too many shots. But once you get to those big totals, it's almost like a shutout in hockey. Goalie's got 30 saves, 2 minutes left in the game. You don't want to talk about him letting in 0 goals because that is when the jinx comes strong. So it's knowing when to let it come into the air, almost the announcer's jinx.
Yeah. Well, anytime I would say something, and all of a sudden, I've had the great opportunities to work with Cecil Wright, and Cecil Wright would say, "You had to say it, didn't you, Dan? You had to say that." Valachi out here for the convert.
Yeah, I would say Connor McKinnon, who I'm sure you've had the chance to work with before.
Actually, never. No,
really?
No.
Well, I'm sure you know his voice.
Love him, yeah.
He's not afraid to let me know when I have been there for the announcer's jinx. He called me out on my first ever announcer's jinx ever, so he's been there for quite a bit of them that I've had with other people.
(22-6), so boy, as we were saying about like it being like a two-possession game. Now it's 3, so that is a big hole. 10 seconds left to go, so the Wanderers are going to have a little bit of time, but not much to make something here.
Robinson and Carr in the backfield for the Wanderers. Bucks number 35, Fisher Gaines, set the kick.
Ten seconds ago. Giddens to kick it out from the 45. Carr set to return, just about around his 10-yard line. Carr up to the 35, brought down, 3 ticks left. Ball to the 38. Carr maybe feeling it after that hit. But he gets up slowly, but trying to work it off here. And what do you do if you're Wanderers? You're on the wrong side of the turnover sheet. 3 seconds left, 22-6. Some would say that you just kneel down and just come back out for the second half. And
Bucks get the ball, start a second half anyway. I'm a Hail Mary type of guy. I don't think there's anything wrong with taking a Hail Mary, 3 seconds left, just airing it out, but I would not be surprised if they kneel it, and it looks like that's what they're
They will
gonna do
that. And that is the final play here of the first half. Nova Scotia Buccaneers with a 16-point lead, 22-6 here in the Maritime Football League semifinal, trying to get a berth into the Maritime Cup, which will be next week. Who their opponent will be is yet to be determined between Moncton and Valley. Well, stick around, folks. We've got a great halftime covered your way. Ethan's got to head down and maybe grab a player here for an interview. And so we've got a great halftime show coming up. 22-6. This is the Maritime Football League on Maritime Athletic Profiles.
All right, we're here with Dante Gabrielli. Dante, what a pick six at the end of the half for you. How did it feel? They waited so long to make that call to see if it would be a touchdown. How did it feel when they said that it was?
Man, when I look back after the touchdown, seeing the flag, I'm like, I just got to get off, get some rest. And then when I seen it was overturned, it couldn't be more lit up. Like my favorite part of that moment was catching that pick, looking around, seeing all the guys around me, and it just felt so good because I got the squad beside me. We're all running down together, and whether it was a touchdown or not, the moment was the biggest part about it. So that's what I'm happy about.
So another interception earlier in the half for your teammate Tayshawn Collins. Yeah. Did Tayshawn come up to you during that moment because he had the touchdown called back already?
Yeah, he was like, same thing just happened. So. I don't know. It's cool. It's cool to see it overturned. It definitely sucks for Tay, but at the end of the day, it was a moment. He still made the play. Still a clip.
All right, so 2 quarters away from the finals. A big lead for you guys right now after a strong end to the second half. What's the attitude, or a strong end to the first half? What's the attitude going into the second half?
Attitude's just going to be keep the same pace. I feel like the boys are putting everything on the line right now. We're making a few mistakes, clean those mistakes up, and we just keep cruising along, finish the game, stay healthy, and yeah.
All right, well, thank you very much, Dante. It's been a pleasure talking to you as always. We'll be back for the second half of action in just a moment.
We good to go?
Yes, sir. We are live.
All right, welcome back here to Cole Harbor All-Weather Surface. 28-6, as the bar is a little bit off that, so it is 28-6. Just want to recap that as it tipped off, and also giving a little bit of help there from the longtime PA announcer Troy Davidson in the house that said it was 28-6 as we return to play here for the Maritime Football League semifinal between the St. John Wanderers and the Nova Scotia Buccaneers. Well, they're going a little for razzle-dazzle. It was Gabrielli. Then he decided to hand it off to Mullally. Mullally there with a stiff arm pushes Jack Harding down. Flag down, and not feeling too great after that play was Robinson there.
Mullally, he took that ball off of a pitch from Gabrielli. Not what you expect to see, especially at the start of the half, up 3 touchdowns, but threw the defense off, and it kind of allowed Mullally to just break tackles like he breaks tackles, but you don't normally see it like that. It's just the body language of the Wanderers was thrown off when he started running up the other way.
Penalty going to the Buccaneers, so move it back to the 32.
Not horrible field position, but not what you want after trying to play like that.
An unnecessary roughness there, so that hurts what would have been a good return.
Penalty is against the Buccaneers.
And it's originally sent back to the 32, so now it's going to be back even further, Ethan. We're looking at around the 18-yard line.
It just keeps getting tougher and tougher on this first drive for the Buccaneers. Something to note, Toro Gabrielli not back in the backfield. Dante is there.
Incomplete. Nate Kenny got a hand on it, and if he had got another one and grabbed it, he would have got a pick 6 the other way.
Second down.
Yeah, you made a great point there with Gabrielli, because he's not even in uniform now. So
yeah, he's over there with an arm sling.
Yep. So he will not be. We are not doctors. We don't play ones on TV, but we can basically go out on a limb and say that he will not be back here for the rest of this one. And that's what they call sarcasm.
You know, I had the chance to talk to his brother Dante.
Oh, that was great that you had. Yeah, that's great.
At the half, as Dante took that one.
Yeah, Gabrielli up to the 21.
But he's out there on offense, and we were actually talking about the plays he made over on defense. That pick 6 he had at the end of the half.
Well, the thing is that we were talking about it being like a 2-score difference, and now, of course, it's gone to a 3-score difference. Third down.
Just starts getting a little bit
Tufts.
less manageable in your mind when it's 3 scores.
Pass. Caught Mullally through traffic right there with him. Was Morgan pretty much right there by his side. It's one of those 50-50 balls. Fought for it and came up with it. And enough for a first down.
Good for first down, you ready?
He is having a phenomenal game, Mullally.
Yeah, also too is Tufts, he has there was 2 gold and blue jerseys right there, and really I'm impressed with how calm he has been. He has just not looked flustered at all. Gabrielli, the ball carrier, up past the 35, down to the 37. And that's good there for, mark it back at the 36.
Gain of 7 yards, second down, 3.
That's the gain of 7, second and 3. You have a funny feeling with this being You're going to see a lot of the ground attack the rest of the way for the Buccaneers. Eat up a lot of clock. It's what Moncton did in the original home opener for the Buccaneers. They just ate a lot of that third quarter up. Tufts. Pass. Down on the turf. And it's caught there by Jack Martin.
Martin, another nice catch. Another thing is to mention about just the time running down, and we hadn't really talked about it in the first half just because it was a closer game, but if the Bucks can get a 35-point lead, that does put the clock in runtime.
Well,
so
that's another thing, too, that helped because Moncton got off to that big lead in the first half, and it was nonstop time in the second half, so also made it quicker. So 11 on the catch. Hand off again, Dante Gabrielli. Might have gotten one or two on that. Looks to be two. Actually, to be precise, it'd be about 1.5, so it'll be like a 2nd and 8. But you have to give credit here to the Buccaneers offensive line. There has not been a lot of times there have been pressure in Tuff's face. Tuff airs it out. Pass caught there. Cameron Hunt. Hunt pushed down. Getting down there. Gavin Giddings there. Getting a piece of him. Brings him down. Close to the 35-yard line of the Wanderers.
And just as you were talking about the offensive line, they put up some great blocking again for the Buccaneers, allowing them to pick up another first down. Dante Gabriel checks out for this play. John Frazier in for likely going to check in the backfield.
Tufts again. In traffic, spins away, flag down, airs it out, pass picked off. Aiden Surrett picks it off. Will it stand? If it's in the backfield, it's a good chance it's a holding and going the other way.
And on the replay, Dan, it's definitely holding. So it looks like it's going to stand.
And
a great play.
And the rain has starting to come out. So you being in the replay booth is going to be drier for me the rest of the way. If this continues, of course.
Ladies and gentlemen, time now for your winning 50-50 ticket number on a white and blue ticket.
Well, I think that would have to be classified as announcers, Jakes, because we were saying about Tuff being able to handle it and the offensive line that time. So Wanderers get a turnover here. Let's see if they can capitalize it. They'll swing it over to Crowley. Trying to get to the outside. Pushing the pile is Crowley.
Number 5, number Crowley.
Might have gotten a couple of yards on the play. Will be 2nd down and 8. 9 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
They need everything if they want to get back into this game.
2nd down.
Ball on the 33, so it was good for 2. 2nd and 8. 8:43 remaining here in the third quarter. 28-6. Crowley again. Gets to the outside. Trying to get to those sticks. Brought down at around the 39, and the side judge takes a little bit of a spill that time. Jeff Spencer, wrong place, wrong time.
You catch it at the end of the replay as well. You just see a little roll at the last bit.
Noah Crowley, that we've called his number a lot, but this I think has to be his best run for the day because he was trying to get to those sticks as best as possible. He got to about the 38, so he's got to be just about 3 yards shy, but he's made it sort of like third and manageable as the rain has sort of stopped here at Cole Harbor surface. The funny thing is, I bet people are probably going out to their cars to get the umbrella. They come back and they get to their seats and they don't need the umbrellas. Better to have it than have it and not need it than need it and not have it. I'm sure I've heard that in my broadcast as well.
Yeah, it's never fun to be out in the rain. My least favorite game I've ever been a part of working was a football game. I was out doing a field camera. It was SMU versus St. FX AUS Championships this past season, and the weather that day was just, it was unprecedented how bad it was. It was horrible.
I was reminiscing with some of the buddies about some old AUS football games played in the past, and there was a one where it was a snow bowl. It was like snowy and slushy. It was the first weekend in November, and Katie was up playing SMU, and they were playing in the white. So I guess you'd probably take the wet over the white. I remember that one, watching that one.
It depends. I mean, there's some fun in a snow game. The rain is just, I don't know if I have any fun with rain. I'm one of those people. So
no, I remember also too is like, this is going high school football days, that having to go down to play at SMU. I didn't play, but I was a statistician for a high school football team. Going down, and the rain and the wind in November, you were basically in a yellow suit, but still, you were still soaked and you were still cold. There was something always playing about at SMU, like with those big like apartment areas for the students and stuff. It just seems like it's a very cold place, even when it's warm. It's that type of place. So I can, I share your pain, Ethan. 6:44 left to go, and good time of possession here. Put up there, and a pass. Nice catch there. Caleb Kirkpatrick from Lamming goes up, but he feels it. And a flag down, so I'm sure there's going to be more added on. But boy, he climbs up the ladder to bring this one down.
And after the play, it looks like player down on the field.
Flag thrown at the end of the play. Title play number 22, Tayshawn Collins.
So Dan, I got something for you.
Okay.
You said you never played football. You're the statistician. If you were on the field, and you had any chance to pick any position, what's the position that you would like to pick?
Oh, I'm glad you asked that. A lot of people would say quarterback, but I like defensive back because you could, run back a little bit and make sure you cover the player. Like I had dreams and aspirations of trying to be a defensive back there for CEC many years ago. Like we're talking 30 years ago. But it was not meant to be. There was a lot of better athletes that I just sort of stepped aside and just said, well, they had like great athletes like Kenny McKenzie, who was, just a solid defensive back. It was just really just a solid secondary that they had. A lot of speedy backs, and it was just, but I tried to play defensive back because I was, back in the 80s, 90s, I was a fan of the defensive back. There was a great player that played for the BC Lions by the name of Darnell Clash. He was also a great defensive back and also a great kick returner for the BC Lions. And he was one of my faves.
Well, I love that it wasn't just the basic answer that it wasn't quarterback. It was, and also I feel like receivers a little bit basic as well. I played center myself, but I'd say my dream position would also be one of those positions where you got to run around a lot on defense if I could do it. Like DB would be fun, being the top guy back there at safety. That could be a lot of fun as well. So.
Oh, well, safety was the best because you were basically center fielder. It was easy. It was like whatever side the ball goes to, you go over. That's Crowley with the handoff, and this is a good good possession here for the Wanderers. And I know they're trailing by three possessions here, but they're keeping the football, which means you're keeping that offense off the field. So this is good for them. They're slowly sending it down the field, hoping to get something positive here, but as it is, 2nd down and 5 from the 25. It's one of those, well, wish we did this in the game a little bit sooner.
Yeah, absolutely.
Open man. Oh, look at that pass picked off.
And that could be the thing that does it for the Wanderers. Just great defensive coverage again from the Buccaneers.
Caden Frazier with the interception there. And he comes up and he doesn't have a helmet on after the end of it. You don't see that too often. But he had the man open, but boy, Frazier closed in quickly on that and came up with the interception. So I believe the turnovers are now 4-2 in this one. 5:13 and counting, and Wanderers were doing something. They started off and they were sending it down the field, and then to have that happen, that's just is really hard. Tufts. Oh, what a big sack there is getting in there.
Two of
Carson
them.
Crown was one of them, and you could hear that one. And Caleb Morgan in on that as well.
That was just pure thud on contact.
2nd down.
And taking down an offensive lineman and Tufts.
So you had that we had that conversation of what position would I be. That's the reason why I wouldn't want to be a quarterback. I'll feel that one in the morning.
They're pretty scary guys running at the quarterback. I mean, I was usually the smallest guy on the offensive line, and being center, you usually got to go against the biggest guys, so.
O'Lally bounces off the tackler. Shoestring tackle there. Shoestring tackle there by Ring Deneen. Mullally with a really good catch on that and broke the initial contact.
And he's been so good at breaking contact here today. But I would like to credit Ring for making that tackle. That could have went all the way if he didn't get there at that last chance.
First and 10. Gabrielli pushing off and then tries to pull over Cody Carr. Carr brought him down, but not enough time because it was a 1st down.
That's good for another Buccaneers 1st down.
Takes the ball to about the 30-yard line, 31-yard line.
Keeps the clock ticking as well. Clock at 2:40 now, just going down.
First and 10. Pressure there. Tufts. Man, You have to say that Caleb Morgan has really impressed me. He has been all over the place. He was in the backfield pressuring, and then when Tufts went on the run, he's the one that brought him down. Did get a gain of 4, made something out of nothing, but I've been impressed with his game. Caleb Morgan, 45 there for the Wanderers. 2 to go. And counting. Second and 6 from the 27. 100 seconds left here in the third quarter. 28-6. Tufts and a flag. This could be holding. Tufts on the run, trying to be pass caught. Gabrielli brought down near the sticks, but it may not be for bees. It looks to be a holding, and it already, first indications indicate holding Buccaneers.
Yeah, you can see holding there on what would have been a Gabrielli reception, but getting brought back. So something to note, Dan. No points have been scored in this third, and we are minute 25 away from that.
There was one point we were going to say that in the second quarter, that there was going to be no points scored, but that changed pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's true. So
Justin Murphy was the one that was called for the hold there for the Buccaneers. Takes it back to the 37. Tufts. Kerstead caught. Tackled by McGurvey. Good for the first down.
Sounds like there's some fans pretty excited that Jordan Gierstead was the one to receive that ball. Was tackled right away, but great job to hold on to it.
24 yards there on the completion.
Alex McGarvery with the tackle there.
Down at about the 11. First and 10. Tufts, I'm not sure if it was a scramble or mix up there, but Gabrielli was just like right there. Didn't really allow enough room there for handoff, so Tufts went with it a bit and gets about a couple.
Second down.
You wonder if that was a read option, but just miscalculated almost from Dante. I mean, it could have been a designed QB run, but it was a weird one there.
This should be the final play here of the third quarter. 28-6. Buccaneers lead in the semifinal here in the Maritime Football League playoffs. Maritime Athletic Profiles, pass caught complete, and Cameron Hunt, second time in the end zone today, gets the touchdown. Makes it 34-6.
So, no time on the clock. Big lead for the Bucs. It's just all the hope has gone away for St. John now. It's just one quarter away until Nova Scotia Buccaneers will return to the final.
They were in that final in 2023 and came away with a 1-point win.
Was that in overtime or the fourth quarter? I know it was the last play of the game, but it was a pretty historic ending for them that year.
Yeah, but you know they've probably had that. I do have an interesting story to tell of Cameron Hunt, is that He had a really big game at high school a few years back that I had a chance to work. It was against Dartmouth. And, of course, Dartmouth coached there by Lou Veloci. And, of course, we see that, kicker Matthew Veloci on the team. And so it's funny how this sport is one day that you're basically rivals and then you're almost like best friends and teammates. It's just so funny how it sort of just like turns around on that. So he had a chance to see what Cameron Hunt could do because Cameron Hunt had like 2 or 3 touchdowns in that game versus Dartmouth. It was at Burnside all-weather facility a few years back, just like right after like COVID opened up and you were allowed to do sports again.
That was a
interesting time, yeah.
tough time for a lot of athletes.
Into the fourth quarter, a scrib kick there by Veloci. Handed on the ground there by Robinson. Good return up to the 35-yard line.
Tackle play number 21, Zach Musa.
So the Wanderers, as much as they probably don't want to admit it, they're playing for pride at this point. And we'll have to see if they can put up more points than they were able to last time against the Buccaneers.
Well, the thing is that if things go as scripted there, we're not sure what the result is from the Moncton versus Valley game that's also taking place right now. But if it's a matchup between Moncton and Nova Scotia, it was like a very big convincing win there by Moncton pretty much to start the season here in Cole Harbour. So, and we said that the Buccaneers have improved as the season has gone on, but it's a chance here of a rematch of the 2023 Maritime Cup there, Ethan, you were saying.
Well, you have to worry a little bit if you're the Buccaneers. You improved, but how much did the Mustangs improve,
Well, they basically, they were cooking with gas. They did everything right. They had like a smart game plan. I called that game. They had great offense, good defense, and they just sort of like, but also when you have that 35-point lead, that's all of a sudden in the second half, the clock just is
goodbye.
Yeah, it's going by. It's ticking very quickly. That's incomplete. And hobbling there is Ben Coates. And this has been a tough afternoon because they lost Brennan with an ankle injury, and Coates is down now. So
Ben Coates, the injured player.
Yeah, the weather has definitely been in effect. The slips have not helped people's falls here today.
Thing about this St. John Wanderers, this team has had a lot of success in the Maritime Football League. They'll you think about the season next year, and they'll be back.
Oh yeah, they will 1,000% be back. I'll tell you, in my previous broadcast covering the Bucs this season, I was predicting last week's match to be a little bit closer. And just based off of scores from other matchups as well, it felt like they had pretty similar games against other teams, but sometimes it's just matchup is they just match up against them better than you would think. Back after the injury.
Pass caught in the middle there. Robinson trying to get outside.
Carely Smith getting in there for the tackle.
Exactly there, number 51, and he has been a stellar defensive player all year for the Buccaneers.
Yes, he has. I actually talked to him in the previous match I did this season after the game, and the whole time he's so fired up to just go out there and have the chance to hit people every play. He loves being on that defensive line and knowing that every time the ball is snapped, he's about to make contact with somebody.
Well, I think Carr might have got a little bit too lippy, and he's going to get an objectionable conduct here. And back the ball up.
Not something you see every day.
Especially when when the play is just about ready to get underway.
Yeah, usually, you're right. Usually you see it like right after a call is made or right after tackle.
Well, Jeff Spitzer's the one that threw the flag, so wasn't too happy with what Carr had to say. So, and this will drive coaches crazy, but I also know that you look at the score right now, 13:03 left, and it's 35-6, and they've basically pretty much have a lot of work to do to get into it, and basically the analytics says that it just can't. But this will drive coaches crazy, is that these unnecessary penalties, and another flag down as Crowley gets to the outside on the handoff there. And there's the man once again, Kearley in on the tackle there for the Buccaneers.
Flag on the play.
Another flag being thrown here as we get another look at that one.
Like it's going to be offside, so we'll see what Dion Hodges decides here, if he'll put them back or decline it. Well, we'll put them back, and first down repeated, so Wanderers going back instead of going up the field with 12:33 left to go in the fourth.
Repeat first down. Buccaneers number 51, Jake Fairley Smith in on the tackle.
So they don't have many plays. A 1st and 25. A screen pass is too short there. They're looking for Crowley.
Screen pass for the intended receiver number 5. Noah Crowley is incomplete. Second down.
I don't think there's many plays. I'm sure you have in the football career you had that they have a play drawn up for a 1st and 25 or a 2nd and 25.
Yeah. Usually by the time we're at something like a 1st and 25, especially in 3-down football, we're probably just running it up the middle or having a screen pass.
That's what they tried to do there. Tried to go with a short little pass there to Crowley. Unsuccessful. So once again, 2nd and 25 from the 34. This time the handoff. Crowley on the run. The outside up to the 40. Down at the 41.
Able to get a few out of it, but obviously not to the first down marker and even back to the original line of scrimmage. So 2nd and very long coming up. Or 3rd and very long coming up. Check that. Think they go for a pass here, or?
Yeah, this is like a 3rd and 18.
They got some plays for that.
I can remember being in elementary school, being a football fan. Of course, they had that play wristband, and people made fun of me for making one. Boy, they're not making fun of me now. Pass on the outside. Picked off, incomplete, almost.
I thought it was picked off from my angle, but
he must not have been able to keep control as he went down. It's going to result in a 4th down.
Cameron Reddick's going to be thinking about that one.
Well, they don't really have a choice because it's a 4th and 18. So setting up is Robinson to punt here for the Wanderers. Gabriele and Mullally racked back at around the 40-yard line here.
Number 82, Braden Robinson set the punt.
Robinson's just going to pop it up in the air and not even give a return. could go to the 50.
And the punt goes out of bounds.
You know what? I know they don't keep stats in this, but you know what that punt was there, Ethan?
What was it?
Minus 2 yards because it was 2 yards shy of the original line of scrimmage. It's a -2 punt.
Not what you want to see if you're the punter. I don't think doing that type of thing was the right call with the score that we've got right now. Just send it down and let your tacklers try to make the tackle.
I have never, covering this league, that's when I've just had to say -2 or minus something on the punt. It's not often. It's actually officially -3. Tufts puts it down, runs over his own man, but no big deal. Gets the first down and more as he goes down.
He ran past the blocker there. Cam Hunt was questioning what to do.
He almost, Cam Hunt almost took the ball. Was so close to him, he could have taken the ball right out of his breadbasket, to be honest.
Another look at that one, and yeah, Cam Hunt actually ran into the left side of Tufts there.
Well, Tufts ran into his offensive lineman there to start, and then at the end of the play, Cam Hunt. Good for 24 yards, and a first down. Oh, backfield, Hammond brings him down, flag down as well. Brady Hammond.
Could be roughing the passer maybe, but it didn't look like it was anything too aggressive, just trying to get the man down who won't go down. Players getting back there. Brady Hammond along with Caleb Morgan. It feels like we've said Caleb Morgan's name a lot.
It's almost like they're saying it was a necessary roughness, so it's like a horse collar tackle there by Hammond.
Yeah, I didn't have the greatest view. I felt that he grabbed the back of his, the top back of his jersey rather than his shoulder pads, but get another look here. Yeah, I mean, it looks like the jersey. It's a tough call.
Well, that's a big swing because the ball would have been at the 55, but now it's at the 20 of the Wanderers, so that's a 35-yard difference. First and 10 from the 20. Tufts puts it up. Incomplete, Jack Martin. I'm not sure if he was going to be in bounds there, Ethan. It was really walking that tightrope along the sideline there, but he can't bring it down. Second down.
Another look at that. Martin chances might have a better look at his feet. He may have been in, Dan, if he held on to that. This would probably be our best angle here.
It was going to be close. That was no doubt.
Do you know if it's 1 foot or 2?
I think that it'd have to be that if the Canadian rules would have to be the 1, so it is the 1.
So yeah, that if he brought that in, that was a touchdown. He got the first foot down cleanly.
Hand off to Dante Gabrielli. Pushing the pile there was the offensive lineman. Llewellyn helping move Dante Gabrielli and that pile there for the Buccaneers.
Third down.
Another look at that one. Hasn't been often that one player can take down a Buccaneer today.
Third and a long one. Dante Gabrielli in the backfield. Shotgun formation. 3rd and 1. High snap. Tufts turns on the horse. Has enough for the first down, getting it right close to the end zone.
Yeah, great chance for Tufts. So consistent in the red zone. Just trying to get in the end zone now.
Good for first down, guys.
But does move the sticks. Make it 1st and goal. And we're at 7:15 remaining. He's trying to put it in run time. This touchdown would put it in run time.
Number 3.
Excuse me, but it would put it in run time if they get this without even the extra point just because of the missed chance earlier.
1st and goal from the 3. Gabrielli. No signal yet from the officials. So they'll be shy of the end zone. Be 2nd and goal.
And just keep trying to punch a hole there, and I mean, you still got 3 more chances. Eventually it should go in, disregarding potential fumble.
Yeah, 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line. Tufts. This time he'll hand it off. Solonic will get in. And flags afterwards, so not sure what happened here. It happened along that far sideline, but touchdown will still count. Makes it 41-6.
Another look at Solanic's touchdown. Not normally running back, but when you're missing your superstar, everybody can get a chance, especially when you got a championship game coming up next week. It's an unfortunate big loss for the Buccaneers going in to likely Moncton.
Unnecessary roughness face mask. Penalty applied on kickoff.
So the penalty will be applied on kickoff from the face mask. Kick here from Valachi.
And Matt Valachi's point after is good.
Another extra point made for Valachi.
Remaining in the 4th quarter. Ducks 42, Wanderers 6.
42-6, 5:58 left to go in this one.
So maybe they don't got run because of playoffs, though. I was saying that to you before the game because I haven't seen it start yet, but it may start at the kick. So we'll see.
You said the face mask penalty. Of course, this has moved the kickoff from the 50-yard line. I have never seen many kickoffs start at around the 50-yard line of the opposing team. So here is like Valachi kicking off from the Wanderers 50. I've never seen this before. It's usually like the 30, 40, or even like midfield, but never the 50-yard line. Like, this is going to be like pinning St. John back if he puts all of it into it. Valachi's going to take this kickoff. It was Ginge that was sort of doing the kickoff duties early.
Well, it's Canadian football rules. He can't get it all the way, but he was in kind of position to just try to send it as far as he can, try to go for a rouge.
Yeah.
Kick return by number 82, Braden Robinson.
Robinson down at about the 28.
That'll have the clock flowing now as well. Confirmed to be kept those rules.
Down at the 25, so it's 1st and 10. You know, while we're here, of course, we've running out of time here in this one. I want to thank the entire Maritime Athletic Profiles crew for covering Maritime Football League here. You've had fun. I've had fun. I've done a couple of games. You've done a few games here, so it is pretty good football. We were pretty excited about the 6-on-6. That was great coverage, and of course that was also used as a warm-up here for some of these players here. So we've had a chance to call some great football action here this spring.
Well, I just love seeing a lot of the guys that I ended up covering in 6v6. 4 squads in that league, if you're not aware. We got Halifax, Sackville, as well as Tantallon and Fall River. But a lot of those players were just small teams playing against each other, and then they all kind of came together for this Nova Scotia Buccaneers team. You look at Toro Gabrielli, Jordan Kierstead, Riley Gabriel, Dante Gabrielli. Those were top guys all season for Halifax. But then you also get guys coming in like Tayshawn Collins, and you got Tupper as well, 26 back there on defense. Naeem Kelly, some of those Sackville guys coming in, making a difference for this squad.
Face mask penalty adds 15 yards to this, brings it up to the 51. 3:47. New quarterback in here. This is Cooper McCain. Getting a chance to get some reps here, and a flag there down, and Wanderers pretty happy about that, but we'll see if it sticks.
Yeah, flag came down pretty early, so could be going back quite a bit from what that run was.
Oh, it's going to be going against the Buccaneers, so it's offside. It's declined, so 39-yard line, 1st and 10.
About to get a 3-minute warning here, I believe. Yes, we are.
3 minutes left here to, of course, this one already, no doubt, 42-6. Nova Scotia Buccaneers have punched their ticket to the Maritime Bowl final. Crowley, nothing there. Originally, right there was Jake Curley-Smith. Boy, we've talked about him, and he was the first one there and made the initial contact there on Crowley and basically made it a loss there for the Wanderers.
First one in, last one out attitude. He wants to be the guy making the play, but he also loves just seeing his teammates succeed as well. That's something he talked about with me as well, just the smile that he gets on his face watching his teammates make big plays. He's played with a few of the guys on this team for a while. He's played with Kyle Dykins quite a bit. Dykins not really out there today, nearing the end of his football career, and told me and another teammate he's been playing with, this will be it for Dykins after. So
Dalton there on that one there on the catch there from McCain to Alexander. Minute and 40 left.
Don't tune out when that's over, though. We got a post-game interview coming up with Dan Hobson, as well with a member of the Buccaneers. So.
Yeah, we're also got a tee up. We're gonna also maybe like give a little bit of a tee up there for that potential game if we between Moncton and Nova Scotia. If that's,
it seems like it'll likely be the case.
Yeah,
so.
you'll be there. I'll catch up with Dion Hodges and a couple of players as well as Cooper hands it off to Crowley again. Crowley up to the 40.
Ball carrier number 5, Noah Crowley. Tackle on the play, number 5, Riley Gabriel.
Good for about 6.
4th down.
Great experience here for Cooper McCain. Not sure how many reps he has gotten here, but get a chance to get it. He could be the guy of the future if Lamming is graduating from this program. So then shotgun formation. Nobody in the backfield, has time, running away, puts it up, incomplete. Closest, once again, was Landry there for the Buccaneers. 6 seconds left and counting down.
And that'll do it. Yeah, Oh, did they just call a timeout with 1 second left? I think they did.
Yep, clock's come to a stop with 1 second left.
One last play on your football season. No,
Nope.
they let it go.
42-6. Nova Scotia Buccaneers will be off to the Maritime Football League final to either play Valley or Moncton after a 42-6 win. And as Ethan mentioned, we'll have a great post-game show. Ethan and I will also wrap it up here. And we'll be back in just a couple moments with that post-game show here. It's the Maritime Football League on Maritime Athletic Profiles. And welcome back to Cole Harbour. This is getting to be old habit here, Riley Gabriel. Congratulations being named the Defensive Player of the game, and you're going to the championship game. Your thoughts?
Hey, I'm just excited to get there and get some revenge on Moncton because they're always rolling strong at the start of the season. We've been down this road before. We're going to meet them in the final again, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, the last met in 2023, of course, they started the season here, and it was a little bit of a rough one, but you guys have improved over that first week to now. Talk about that process.
A lot of it is just the level of commitment, getting guys out to practice, getting everyone on the same page, people seeing the reason for why we're doing everything the way we're doing it, because there's no one formula to any success, but if everyone's on the same page, you got a good chance. So
now you're playing defensive back, you've played quarterback, so there was a lot of times that you were probably already seeing some of the things that, of course, their quarterback was doing here today and almost came up with a couple of picks. That really sort of helps, doesn't it, in that process?
Yeah, it's good to have experience on both sides, and especially playing kind of an opposite position from one another. It's kind of something I've always done in pretty well every level. So it just kind of adds to the IQ of it all, and just going out there to make plays, and yeah.
Well, Riley, it's been great covering you, of course, in the 6 league football and this league as well. Best of luck next weekend, whether it's going to be versus Moncton or Valley, but it could possibly. Yeah, that's why they play the game. Huh?
Either one, we're ready.
All right, thanks, buddy. Best of luck.
Thanks.
Riley Gabriel, defensive player here of the game here as the Buccaneers came away with a win over the St. John Wanderers. We'll be back in just a couple of seconds. Ethan's got to have Jack Martin. This is the MFL on Maritime Athletic Profiles.
All right, we're here. Another post-game interview here with another member of the Buccaneers, Jack Martin. How does it feel just playing with such a strong quarterback, guy like Mitch Tufts? You guys were really connecting today.
Oh man, it's great. He can throw the ball anywhere on the field. I'm playing field wide out, and he can still get it out to me. And he's just a smart guy. He knows what's going on the field at all times. So it's great.
So you got into the end zone yourself today. Talk to me about what you were feeling, what you were looking at in just the moments before and then as the ball was coming into the end zone for you.
Well, I've just been looking at how the DB was playing me the whole game, and I said to Mitch on the sideline, I said, listen, he's keeping with me for 5 yards, but he's got his back turned to me. If I go deep, I'm there. And he said, I got you. So we drew it up, and I was there.
So we were just talking with Riley Gabriel a moment ago. He seems to think Moncton's going to be in the final, and we said that as well on commentary. How does it feel to get likely another chance at the Mustangs after a rough Week 1 matchup?
I mean, it feels great. We got a lot of guys out that weren't out for that first game, so I think it'll be a different outcome this time, but I just want to get out there and compete, show them what we're about.
All right, well, thank you very much for your time. We got one more interview coming up here, Dan, going with the head coach of the Nova Scotia Buccaneers. We'll take you there in just a moment here on Maritime Athletic Profiles.
And we're back here at Cole Harbor, and boy, this is just bringing back memories. I was having a chance to interview you when you were doing Auburn. You had that great run. Dion Thomas Hodges III, congratulations on the win. Your thoughts?
Man, it was a battle today. These guys are always perennial top 3 in the league, so we knew we had to bring it and make sure we get through this game to make sure we can have that our second shot at Moncton.
Now, tell us about the process and how the team has improved week after week and how happy you are with them.
Yeah, I'm very happy with them. We got off to a rough start. The team Moncton seen week 1 is not the team they're going to see next week in the ship. And, we're going to come and battle it out. May the best man win.
Yeah, we had a chance to see Mitch Tuff. It was my first look at him. Talk about him and how cool and composed he is under pressure there. He seemed like that was just a great game for him. They brought him the heat sometime, and he just dealt with it. How do you feel on that?
Man, I've been coaching that kid since he was 12 years old, man. He's been a dog since day one. He's just a ball player, man. He makes things happen with his feet, with his arms, and don't let him know this, but with his head. He's one of the smartest football players I've ever had the opportunity to coach. All
right. Well, it was a pleasure talking to you. Basically, also, we know how you always ended your interviews there when the high school sports football. So I'm going to end this interview with basically, how are you going to end it? Go
Bucks! Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
See you next week.
Yeah, all right. We'll see you next week. Best of luck there.
Hey.
Best coach in the game.
Dan,
Best
hey,
coach in the game.
This guy right here, best play-by-play guy in the Maritimes right here. Dan's my guy. Dan's the man.
Thank you, Dion. It was always a
buddy.
pleasure seeing you. Best of luck with everything. Dion Thomas Hodges III, the coach of the Nova Scotia Buccaneers. That will wrap up our coverage of Maritime Football League coverage here on Maritime Athletic Profiles. So for the entire crew, as well as Ethan Greenham, my name is Dan Hobson. Thank you for tuning in, and so long from Cole Harbor.